It's time to live full out and let these stories inspire you.
And I decided I was going to put my fear to death and take on risks and challenges.
There's motivation at every turn.
You name it, I'm trying it just because I'm making up for lost time when I didn't have a chance to try things before.
We want to show how they went from the most challenging times in their life to thriving.
This is just where I'm meant to be, and it's a mindset, so I'm happy.
It's time to live full out. Welcome to Living Full Out. I am so happy that you joined us today, and truly this show is dedicated to inspiring you. And gosh, when I think back down memory lane, why we created this show, it was a lot birthed out of my vision loss. At 16, I got the news of having retinitis pigmentosa. That's a mouthful. Well, when you get bad news, what do you do with that? Do you just surrender? Do you give up? Do you fight on? Well, that is why we have the guests on our show, because they show you how they don't just fight, but they get resourceful. They navigate through those heartbreaking moments and come out even stronger with purpose, just flourishing throughout their entire body. And I gotta tell you, Connor Fields, watch out. Whew, I've been waiting for this interview. You are such a stud. And I mean, you guys have to check him out online. It is amazing. And I want to take our audience back just a bit. I mean, at 7 years old, Connor, sorry. You just started going out there and really going for it. But then over time, you really started to get more recognition and start doing more of a national level. But when did you finally look at this racing as like, I can do that. Wait, I can win the Olympics?
Well, I guess you have to go all the way back to, when I started BMX racing, it wasn't an Olympic sport yet. It wasn't until 2005 that the International Olympic Committee put it into the Olympic Games starting in 2008. So when I started in 1999 when I was 7, I just did it because I liked it, because it was fun. It was my favorite sport. So there was never any Olympic dreams or aspirations when I was a kid. But when I was 13 or 14, that was when they announced that BMX was going to be put into the Olympics. And then I watched that first Olympics that BMX was in. And I thought it was the coolest thing that I had ever seen. And I sat there that night. It was 3 a.m. I stayed up all night to watch the Olympics. And I decided I want to go to the Olympics one day. So I did what any inspired teenager might do. I wrote it on the wall in Sharpie at my parents' house that one day I would win the Olympics. So I was grounded for a little while.
Just a couple trash runs.
But my parents were happy because I wasn't, getting into trouble or partying or any of that stuff. They said, "Oh, you just want to exercise for 3 hours a day and train for the Olympics. That's fine." I was already nationally ranked at the time, but I never would have been the person that was like kind of circled as like the next big thing. I had to outwork everybody, and it took a couple of years to get to the point where, I was getting some recognition and people thought I could do it, but more importantly, I thought I could do it. Because it doesn't matter if other people think I'm capable, I have to think I'm capable of it, right? Yeah. So that would have been around probably 16. There was 16, maybe 2009, 2010 time frame. That was kind of the time when it was a possibility.
And then it became reality. I mean, what is that like, Connor, when they say your name? And like they're playing the anthem, and I don't even know, what is that like?
Well, just so the listener, the viewer doesn't think it happens that easy, and then they go home and write on their wall. Mm-hmm. I don't want anybody to get into trouble for doing that. There was also an Olympics before that, 2012, where I got 7th. So I was young. It was my first games. Then in 2016, I went back 4 years later and I won. And that moment that you're describing when they call your name and they announce you and they bring you up onto the podium, I mean, it is indescribable is the best way to put it. I mean, it's every emotion turned up to level 10. Excitement, pride, a bit of relief that all the work was worth it. You start thinking back to all those days of training and practice. You think back to the sacrifice that you made, but also the people around you, your friends, your family, the people that supported you, your coaches. And it's just, it's an unbelievable moment, and it goes by in the blink of an eye.
Wow.
But it's something that you can take with you forever.
And I'm always wondering, what does a medal feel like? What does it feel like, look like, smell like? I might need to smell the medal.
I will tell you a little known fact that people don't know.
Yeah.
Olympic gold medals aren't actually made of gold.
What?
Yeah, it's got too expensive about 100 years ago. They stopped making them pure. They're just coated in gold.
Wow.
Yeah, because if you think about a team sport like basketball or something, that's a lot of gold that they have to give.
Wow.
So, but I actually brought my medal if you want to feel it and check it out. It's right there.
Oh my, this is heavy.
That's usually the reaction I get is that it's heavier than I thought.
This just screams Connor. Oh my goodness. I am so impressed with you, but I really need the audience to stay with us because the thing about your story, which I think is great, is you just had the fire, the vigor, you stayed in there, you got it done. But at the end of the day, life happens. And you had a big dose of reality coming your way. And so stay with us. It's going to be more about Connor's story. But when you get bad news, what do? How do you navigate around the bend? How do you find that purpose? Well, stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
USA BMX, where everyone rides.
Here is confidence in a bottle.
Makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face. And what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under eye bags, and let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view, and now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles.
At our $14.95 price, it's the best way to try Plexiderm and see it work after your first application. Call the number on your screen.
Call 1-800-839-6074.
Welcome to Car Breakdowns 101. I'm your Professor Ice-T. If your car is out of warranty, a car breakdown could eat you alive. Look at that car. The transmission alone could cost you $3,000. And that engine? How much do you love your kidneys? Don't even get me started on the computer system. That's a small fortune. Do what I did and call CarShield. They get expensive car repairs taken care of so you don't have to. Class dismissed.
Call 800-786-8390.
Welcome back to the Living Full Out Show, and we are all today about inspiring each other, but most of all, we have to learn from each other. How do we get through those hard times? But what do we need to do to make sure that when we turn a new page in life, it's one that we're excited for? And our guest today, our inspirational guest, Connor Fields, you did just that. But let's take your audience back to the day that everything changed for you.
Yeah, that would have been July 30th, 2021. I was trying to defend my Olympic gold medal at the Tokyo Olympic Games. We were in the semifinal, and I had an accident and broke ribs, collapsed a lung, tore ligaments in my shoulder, tore my bicep, and had a traumatic brain injury. And I was in a coma for 5 days. So I woke up in a hospital in Japan by myself with no one around who spoke English because it was COVID and nobody could be in the hospital. And I was very confused as to what was going on, how I got there, and why I was there.
How did you discover what happened if you were all alone?
My phone was next to me. They left my phone next to me so I could communicate or reach out to somebody when I woke up. And so I woke up and my phone was there. I opened it. I had 500 messages from everybody I'd ever met. I mean, my accident happened on live television, so everybody saw it. And then for the next 5 days, it was news articles and news media about the Olympic athlete who might die. And so I started to piece together what happened based on, the messages. And, I opened my phone and it was ABC, NBC, CNN, Fox, like you name it, you name the media outlet, they're doing a story on me. And that was kind of how I learned about what happened. And then from there, I started to piece things together and put life back together, I guess.
Well, and piece by piece you did, but you had to make a really tough decision because you're such a dedicated athlete, but at some point, the doctor and you had a heart-to-heart talk, and the reality of, do I try one more time, or do I turn a new page and try something new? How did you process that?
Well, I was 15 minutes away from having a chance to defend my gold medal, and I was the #1 seed. So I had trained for 5 years. It was the COVID-delayed games, and I didn't get a chance to finish 5 years of work and potentially win another gold medal. And that doesn't sit well with anybody, let alone an athlete who's worked very hard and put in all the sweat equity to get there. And then after I recovered, it was, okay, Paris Olympics are in 2 years. Do I want to try again? Do I want to try to finish the job this time and get back on the horse and win another gold medal? And ultimately, it came down to I didn't want to risk hitting my head again. It wasn't worth it to me to go to my 4th Olympics to try to win another gold medal. I chose to stay healthy and to move forward with my life. And although it was a hard decision because I had been doing BMX since I was 7, and it was my life for, I guess, my first act, I decided to move on and start doing new stuff. And it's been a challenge, but it's been a blast. I host a TV show for PBS now. I commentated the Olympics for NBC last summer. I'm a keynote speaker and do speeches all over the country, inspiring others. And I'm loving Act 2.
So you are a yes man.
Yeah.
Okay, you've always been a yes man, but now
Yes.
you're yes to different experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And how has that given you new purpose?
Well, I mean, for me, it was, I was so dedicated to one thing that I had to put everything else on the back burner. I couldn't do anything else because you don't win the Olympics without being, ridiculously obsessed and dedicated to your craft. Mm-hmm. So you don't get to do other things. And so now I'm saying yes to anything and everything, and trying new things, trying new sports. I did a rec softball league. I tried ice skating. What you name it, I'm trying it just because I'm making up for lost time when I didn't have a chance to try things before.
And do you feel like you're back to normal? Is it a new normal? Like what happens with all those injuries?
Physically, I'm fine. Shoulder reconstruction, the shoulder's fine, the lung healed, the broken ribs healed. With a traumatic brain injury, it's tough because nobody takes a baseline test to know how they are before traumatic brain injury because nobody plans on getting a traumatic brain injury. Mm-hmm. So there's no baseline of before. All I can go off of is, am I able to do everything now that I could do before at the same level? To which the answer is yes. And then the people who know me best, my friends, my family, they say that I'm the same. So that's how we say that I made a full recovery. But I might feel different. I don't know because there's no way to check.
Well, I personally feel lucky. I feel like I got to know the best Connor, the wiser, the one who has all that experience under his belt. And I have to say, I am so grateful that you came on today, speaking on behalf of all those athletes who also have had to make kind of that transition. And again, we're so proud of you. That gold medal, stunning, stunning. And for everybody, who's watching today, just like Connor, you too can win gold in your life. You just have to get out there, seize the moments, and live full out.
In Las Vegas, countless young lives are brimming with potential, waiting for the right opportunity to shine. At Manifest Academy, we believe every child deserves a chance to succeed, not just academically, but emotionally. Through the transformative power of music, we provide mentorship that fosters mental wellness, creativity, and confidence. Our mission is simple: to empower the next generation with the tools that they need to dream big and achieve even bigger. Your support makes this possible. By donating, you give Las Vegas youth access to life-changing opportunities and a brighter future. Visit manifestacademylv.org to sponsor hope, growth, and endless possibilities. Together, we can make transformative lives one note at a time.
Des, are you having hallucinations?
I think it's the house. Childhood memories.
I thought it was great. It was really, really enjoyable, and it made me cry a little bit.
I love the story. I highly recommend it. We just didn't know what to expect, really, and we were just surprised throughout the entire time.
You are not traveling through time.
Seeing that time travel is not possible.
I'm not having this conversation.
I was just astounded at how terrific House and Time turned out to be.
It was wonderful. It had an amazing storyline. It just about did bring me to tears about how we should go on and forget the past and go on and do the best in our future.
I would highly recommend anybody go see this amazing film.
Okay, it's time to live full out. We are just getting deeper and deeper into inspiration today. But truly, I want all of you to think about over the course of this show, where might you make pivots in your life? You know, who are you leaning on that are those cheerleaders that give you that one more boost that says, I can do it? Well, our inspirational guests that we bring on the show, we bring them here to give you that vigor, that I can, that hope in your heart moment. And Shelby Estocado, I am just so thrilled to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
And I gotta tell you, I would have loved to have been you growing up, because you had a beautiful dynamic of a little girl really excelling in hula. That's cool. And then here you are playing baseball, t-ball with the boys. But I mean, where did that little girl go in terms of her athletics early on?
Yeah, early on I was playing with the boys, like you said, and I wanted to play in college for sure, and I took on softball in high school and got a scholarship and played 4 years at Tulsa. And then during my Tulsa years, I also played for the USA Baseball Women's National Team. I started in 2016, so I was playing softball and baseball at the same time, but it was pretty amazing to keep going with the athletics.
You say that like so chill, so cool. You know, I just did this, you know, Nobel Peace Prize, you know, just all in days work, right? But as confident as you were, you know, you were a go-getter in life in so many ways, so many friends, family and beyond. But snowboarding was a love of yours as well. And there was a day where you were just about to go home. Some friends were like, oh, one more run. And you said, okay. Gosh, it's always that last one, isn't it?
Crazy.
What happened on that day?
Yeah, it was, I was 23 at the time, and I was out on the mountain on a Sunday. It just snowed in Vegas. Nobody knows that, but it snows here. And Lee Canyon, I was leaving. I had work the next day, so it was 2:30, and I ran into some friends, like you said, and I was like, I can't not go with you guys, another run. So I did one more, and that one I went on a jump and lost control and suffered a T6 spinal cord injury. It took 3 ski patrols to get me down. It was just a wild experience. I had to go on a helicopter, go to the hospital, surgeries, and yeah, and that story is just crazy how it's been 5 years, so it's a lot of recovery still.
Wow, and your mom thankfully had been in physical therapy, and she was the one to tell you, you know, that of your injuries. But what is that like, Shelby? I mean, I know when I found out that I was going to go blind, but what is that like to know that you're going to be, you know, in a wheelchair, that, you know, that life, the way you envisioned it, all these athletics was going to change?
At 23, I mean, I didn't really know what to expect. I had all the thoughts going in my head was, what am I going to do? I still played USA Baseball, and I just graduated college, and I was working for Stryker, and relationships and having a family. It just goes through your head. And my mom got the call from the doctor because my parents weren't there, and they were on a plane actually, and she wanted to talk to me, and hey Shelby, the doctor told me that you have a spinal cord injury. And I just gave the phone back, and I couldn't accept it. I don't know, I was just too much at the time, and I was like, you know what, I'm walking out of this. I think I can do it. And it's tough though. It takes a lot of support too from your parents, and kind of realizing day after day, like, okay, there's other things to look forward to. So that's what motivated me more to take the next step.
Well, and I definitely understand the stares that people do sometimes, right? Or just people will put their foot in their mouth, maybe both feet in their mouth sometimes. And have you been able to kind of weather that through humor, or just kind of love on them more, educate them?
Yeah, it's about me if people know me, my friends growing up, they joke around with me all the time. And I bring more awareness, just kind of like make it a norm, because it's just, I'm the same person, Shelby, I'm just in a wheelchair, but once they see me figuring it out, sometimes they freak out, like, let me help you. I'm like, it's okay, look, watch this. And I just go down the stairs backwards. But it's just like that moment, I carry myself pretty well, I believe, and like building those relations to educate those people, it doesn't like offend me at all. So it's just about education.
You were built strong and wise. Good looking, I hear. but truly, your story is one that lifts people up. I'm sure everyone around you. But most of all, what I think is so amazing is just how you didn't give up, how resourceful you were. And so for everybody, when we come back, I really want you to hear how she made pivots and changes in her life. I mean, it's not easy. How do you know what your new purpose is? You know, how do you let go of a childhood dream to be the athlete that you always saw yourself being? Well, you do it by living full out.
My name's Shelby Estocado. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. Grew up playing tons of sports, super athletic, very competitive from as a young girl. I had 2 brothers, so we were up at Lee Canyon, and on my last run, I went off a jump, and right when I went off, I lost control, and right as I was falling, I landed straight on my back and just folded in half and broke my sternum and suffered a T6 spinal cord injury. But yeah, after that, I was in the ICU for 8 days, and then after that, I went to Craig Hospital. One of the top neuro rehabilitation places in the whole country, if not the world, but everyone shoots to go to Craig like after an injury like this. That's where I first actually got introduced to high fives. So being discharged from there, I've always been with high fives since I was at Craig. They've helped me get back into adaptive sports, and after 5 months I was camping, and we did a Return to Dirt program camp with high fives. I've done hockey, I've done skiing, I've done mountain biking, surfing, basketball, they're on the list. I do CrossFit now, adaptive CrossFit, so I've had plenty of goals to get back into adaptive sports, and one of them was skiing again and getting back on the mountain. We're at Lee Canyon, and on the second jump, on this right side, second jump is where I lost control, and that's where it all happened. Me skiing down there again, and me getting back into what I used to do, and just because I'm in a wheelchair, like, this doesn't hold me back from anything. And I'm still Shelby, and I'm just in a wheelchair. I still do my same things. Like, my calling is to be athletic and still enjoy sports, so that's what I do, and I'm not going to stop doing that.
Welcome back to Living Full Out, and we are keeping on this inspirational journey with Shelby Estocado, and I gotta tell you, I am just so proud of you. I mean, everything that you dealt with the accident and just digesting kind of your new life, your new reality, and you know I've been there too, in my blindness, right? Like, I really understand that. But where I just am in awe of you is how you took those next days and months and really started to get your strength back. You know, kind of get your sea legs back in the sense of wanting to get out there and do more and be that athlete. What did you do?
Yeah, I used my resources. Like, it's a new life that I'm learning, and I went on YouTube, I went on the internet, but High Fives Foundation found me, and I went to Craig Hospital in Colorado, and that's when it started, where I was motivated to get into adaptive sports. So going from striker and in the medical field and moving on to being a full-time athlete, that was what I wanted to do from the get-go.
And I just don't think the word athlete will ever, it's like your middle name. I don't think it'll ever come out of your story, because as you transitioned and you started finding your new way of doing athletics, you also kind of found that you were dealing with kind of the age, and you know, you were getting a little bit older in terms of some of the sports, right? But then you were also dealing with, okay, there's a whole world of needing to get sponsors and I got to pay for my bills. And how did you navigate that water to decide, okay, maybe I'm going to step away for a second and get a job, do something different?
Yeah, like I always have wanted to give back to everyone that's supported me. And I'm 28 now, almost 29. My birthday's in a few weeks. And there was a point where, as a full-time athlete, it was great. I learned a lot. I met so many amazing people, and I wouldn't have done a lot of the things I did today. And my mom being in the medical field here in Vegas, it's kind of like a mother-daughter duo, but wound care is like a big thing that I am passionate about, skin health and educating my community in spinal cord injuries. But I want to give back and go back into the medical field and have a purpose-driven career like I did as an athlete, but moving over to being in the work field of the medical field again. So I think I can give back way more than I did as an athlete, but I still want to inspire and do things on the side. I can balance that out.
I love that. And I know for you, you've leaned on your faith over the years, you've leaned on family, and you really have such a positive outlook on life. But what do you do on those hard days? I mean, I know when I bump into walls and my coffee table, no one else sees that. No. They see me on TV, but they don't see those moments. What do you tell yourself on those days where it's just hard?
Yeah, there's tough days. There's this guy I had was in rehab with. He said there are good days and tough days, never any bad days. So I already know I expect it to be tough. It's not easy. People don't see what goes on behind the doors in like my everyday daily routines, morning routines, nightly routines, and things happen. And I get frustrated, but I've learned to like recognize it and accept it and kind of move on, because it's just temporary, and I'm so happy where I am, but it's just a part of life. Everyone goes through so many different types of struggles and tough days. I just have that mindset, okay, I don't want to dwell on it. I don't want to be sad. I want to be happy. But for a little bit, it's like, you don't suppress it, but like, just accept it and move on. And I do listen to a lot of podcasts too, other motivating people. So like yourself too. So.
Yay! Yes. We'll take every listener and viewer we can. but honestly, Shelby, I realize too that, for me, I'll be walking with Frost. And yes, he's my guide dog, so people know I'm blind. And yes, you're in your wheelchair. So, there we are, right? Exposed.
Like,
but if you were to go back and either rewrite the story of that day, would you have that accident still happen, or would you have it not happen?
Yeah, I know I'd have it happen. I believe I have a purpose on this earth, just like with praying and God and my family and support. There's just a bigger purpose I know I have on this earth. So this is just where I'm meant to be, and it's a mindset. So I'm happy.
Well, you are making God proud. You make me proud, and for everybody watching, I mean, she makes this look easy, right? But I know, and she knows, and you all know that the hard times are just on the daily, right? They happen. But it's how you rewrite your story. It's how you navigate life, being resourceful, being confident. That is a large part of what it means to live full out. So we're gonna always bring those inspirational stories your way. But Shelby, I gotta tell you, I am a taller, stronger, wiser person for having you on the show and being your friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah.
This is the Las Vegas Television Network. It's all Vegas, all the time.